Ever wondered how America, the land of the free, actually came to be? We all know the story of brave colonists fighting for independence, the Boston Tea Party, the Declaration of Independence. But what if I told you there was another force at play, a hidden hand guiding events from the shadows? A force that looks a lot like modern-day lobbying. Today, we're peeling back the layers of history to uncover the incredible story of how America was lobbied into existence. Let's rewind to the 1760s. The 13 colonies are buzzing with discontent. Britain, deep in debt after the 7 Years' War, starts imposing new taxes on the colonies. First came the Sugar Act, then the Stamp Act. Colonists were furious. No taxation without representation became their rallying cry. But shouting across an ocean doesn't get you very far. They needed someone on the inside, someone in London who could speak for them, who could argue their case directly to the people in power. Enter Benjamin Franklin. Today, we remember him as a founding father, a brilliant inventor, and a diplomat. But in the years leading up to the Revolution, he was something else, a colonial agent. Essentially, he was America's first lobbyist. Living in London, Franklin's job was to represent the interests of Pennsylvania, and later Massachusetts, Georgia, and New Jersey. He wasn't just sipping tea and making friends. He was working tirelessly behind the scenes. He wrote persuasive essays for British newspapers, published political cartoons, and used his charm and wit to build relationships with influential members of Parliament. His biggest victory? The repeal of the Stamp Act in 1766. Franklin testified before Parliament, arguing that the tax was not only unjust but also economically foolish. He painted a picture of angry colonists ready to boycott British goods, hitting the British merchants right where it hurt their wallets. His testimony was so powerful and his arguments so convincing that Parliament buckled under the pressure. The Stamp Act was repealed. This was a massive win, a clear demonstration that a skilled representative, a lobbyist, could actually change British policy. It proved that the colonies had a voice, even from 3,000 miles away. But Franklin wasn't the only one. Other colonial agents, like Arthur Lee of Virginia and Edmund Burke Yes, the famous philosopher who was also an agent for New York, were all part of this network. They formed a united front, sharing information and coordinating their strategies. They were essentially a colonial lobbying firm, working to protect American interests. They weren't just fighting against unfair taxes. They were arguing for the fundamental rights of the colonists as British subjects. They were shaping the narrative, both in London and back home. Their letters and reports kept